Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pampered Chef Live. We're so glad to have you with us tonight. My name is Michael. I'm your moderator. And where are you joining from tonight? Where I am, it is pretty cold. How's the weather over by you? Let us know how you're feeling and drop an emoji if your consultant invited you tonight. During the next 35 to 45 minutes or so, we'll be joining Nicole from her kitchen as she teaches us how to make a cozy soup and salad to go on this very cold day. After the demo, we'll be selecting 3 attendees for giveaways. And if you're watching on Facebook, be sure to register for the event right away through Zoom so you can be eligible for tonight's drawing. We'll also have some Q&A time with Nicole about the recipes and the products she uses, as well as some frequently asked questions about her experience as a consultant. Couple housekeeping notes before we get started with some updated instructions. First of all, we will send you the recipe and product handout for this event via email about an hour after the demo ends so that you can make this recipe at home in your kitchen. Second of all, please take the survey that pops up in Zoom when you sign off. We want your feedback, and we will select one extra winner every week as a bonus giveaway from that survey. So if you don't win in the main giveaway, you've got another chance. If you have a question you want Nicole to answer, please put it in the Q&A feature here in Zoom, and our staff will be answering questions, and we'll save some questions for Nicole to answer at the end. Last thing, if your Zoom chat is getting a little too busy, here's where I said there's updated instructions. We're trying to figure out the new mobile version as Zoom keeps updating. On the desktop version, you can click the little arrow next to the chat button at the bottom of your screen and then select Stop Showing Chat Preview. On mobile, if you want to silence chat, open the chat, tap the little bell icon, and then select Mute. And then you can also hide the emoji reactions by selecting More with the 3 little dots and then selecting Hide Reactions. That way you can just kick back and relax. And that's what I'm going to do. So go ahead and grab a drink, kick back, relax, and let's get cooking. So take it away, Nicole.
Hey everybody, it is Nicole with Pampered Chef. So welcome to my kitchen tonight. I've actually been a consultant with Pampered Chef for 21 years, and I also work full-time as well. And I started this business to do 6 shows and quit, and here I still am 21 years later. I did start to pay off some student loan debt for my husband, in addition to also learn how to cook, because I was that box cook who loved to cook everything out of a box. Okay. So that's a little bit about me, why I'm still here. First and foremost is the Pampered Chef products. They are amazing kitchen tools. They make life in the kitchen so much easier. Friends that have become family, in addition to incentive trips. So that is why I am here, and I'm excited to share with you tonight our loaded baked potato chowder and some tools to make salad a little bit easier as well. Okay. So I'm showing you our deep cover baker. So I would love to see in the chat how many people have this deep cover baker. Even if you have an older color, I would love to know who has this. Okay. Put it in the chat. And what we're doing tonight is I am making from scratch. That means real potatoes, real onions, real cheese, nothing prepackaged. We're going to cook this loaded baked potato soup in the microwave, y'all, in the microwave in less than 25 minutes. Okay. Now it does depend on what size potatoes you have. I am using like a medium size, and I'm going to show you, I did cut these ahead of time just so you can see. So as you can see, all I did was take 3 russet potatoes, cut them in half, and then we're going to add some stuff and we're going to throw them in the microwave. Okay. And as we do that, when I come back, I'm going to talk about this deep cover baker because this is one of my favorite pieces of stoneware. Okay. So what we're going to do so far is we're going to do a ½ cup of milk to this. And again, if you have a milk tolerance, you can use almond milk. You can use any of your substitutes for that. So we're going to do a ½ cup of milk because you want to get a little bit of wet in there. We're going to add some salt and pepper. I am using our salt and pepper grinder set, which is one of my favorites. I'm going to show you these in a second. Okay. And we're going to take this to the microwave. So while I go to the microwave, you got to hit the chat. What is your favorite soup of all time? What is your favorite soup? Let's see that in the chat. So this is actually one of my favorites, is the loaded baked potato soup. Okay. I'm also a broccoli and cheddar girl and a chili girl. That's kind of my 3 soups that I absolutely love. So And, you know, to be able to do it in the microwave in less than 25 minutes is amazing. Okay. So while that cooks, we're going to talk about the deep cover baker. Okay. The deep cover baker is one of my favorite pieces of stoneware. It can be used in the microwave and in the oven. It is heat safe to 500 degrees. So you can, you know, put that in there with the lid at 500 degrees. Those of y'all that do have the newer version of the deep cover baker, it is dishwasher safe if you want to put it in the dishwasher, or you can still clean it with your hot water and soap, or just your hot water and your scraper, because it does still come with a scraper. And it has a 12.5 cup capacity. Okay. So when I use this, it shows, I think people think that it's much larger in person. It is smaller than a 9x13. Think about a whole chicken, like a normal whole chicken will fit inside there. Okay. Or a good 3 to 4 chicken breasts, depending on how big they are. Okay. When it comes to that. So this is why I love the deep cover baker, okay? Because of what you can cook in it. You can take an oven recipe and cut the time in half, if not less than half, in the microwave. So example, who would have thought we could have did a loaded baked potato chowder tonight in the microwave, okay? And the only ingredients that we're doing is potatoes, milk, salt and pepper, butter. Of course, we're gonna grate some cheese and some green onions. That's it. And cream cheese. Okay, that's all it is. So it's super easy. And we're going to obviously put that in there. And again, if you're going to go to the oven and do this in the oven, it is going to take your normal oven time to be able to do that. You can do everything from soup, stews, and chilies to all of your meats. One of my favorite things to do in there is a pork tenderloin and make homemade barbecue in less than 20 minutes. Another favorite of mine is lasagna. Okay. Who here has actually fixed lasagna in their deep cover baker in the microwave? Okay. It takes so much less time, because we all know if you're cooking in the oven with lasagna, it's at least 45 minutes plus. Okay. And yes, it tastes amazing. I promise it doesn't taste like rubber. Okay. Another one is just chicken. How many of y'all love chicken? And, you know, it's one of the things, maybe you don't want to have to turn the stovetop or oven on to actually cook your chicken. You can actually put that chicken in your deep cover baker, season it, put whatever you know, ingredients that you want in there, example, chicken fajitas or any of that good stuff, and then put it in the microwave. And again, it depends on your chicken breast, because some of us cook with chicken breast, some of us cook with chicken thighs, some people cook with tender. So your time is going to be a little bit different, but I'm still going to tell you from start to finish, you're going to have probably 12 to 15 minutes and it's going to be completely done. Okay. There is lots of recipes on our website, so make sure you check that out with different recipes for that deep cover baker as well. You can do desserts. A lot of y'all might remember, if you've ever attended a party and you use the deep cover baker, you might remember that chocolate lava cake that a lot of us made. You can make a cake in the microwave in 11 to 12 minutes. Okay. You can use metal utensils in there. So one of my favorite utensils is salad choppers. Okay. These salad choppers are one of my favorites, and I use them in the deep cover baker a lot, because you can use metal utensils in there because it's not going to scratch that stoneware up. Okay. So speaking of stoneware, y'all do know stoneware. We have a huge line of stoneware, and stoneware, the whole purpose of this is to get it seasoned. Okay. So the darker your stone becomes, the better your food's going to taste. Okay. So our goal is to get that pan seasoned. Okay. It will become more seasoned in the oven, especially if you're cooking with the lid off. When you cook in the microwave, it kind of keeps the moisture in. So it will take a little bit longer for that stone to get seasoned if you're just using it in the microwave. Okay. Potatoes, y'all. I cook so many potatoes, whether it be sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, and I will put those in there. I will drizzle with avocado oil, olive oil, whatever oil that you want to use, salt and pepper, whatever seasoning. And again, depending on how big or thick those potatoes are, you're anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. And again, I didn't have to turn the stovetop or oven on to be able to do those in there. Okay. And no aerosol spray. So super easy when you get this, especially if you're going to cook with liquid in there, you really are not going to have to you know, put oil or butter in there. But if you are cooking something, you definitely want to have something wet in there, whether it be that oil or butter. We do not want to use any type of aerosol sprays at all. And no brand Pacific, just anything that comes in a can that sprays, you don't want to use those on your stoneware, because it makes that build up and makes everything sticky. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're using real real butter or real oil when you're actually doing that. Okay. But these are my favorite. I'm going to show you these tonight. I'm not using them for the soup, but I am going to show you how to cut up salad with these. In addition to other things that you can use these as well. Okay. And the seasoning process, when it comes to stoneware, you want to make sure that you're cooking some high fat content food in your baker, or, you know, your stoneware, because that's what's going to get that pan seasoned. Okay. When that happens. So now we are going to move on to the salt and grinders. Okay. These are our stainless salt and grinder set. I love these. They do come in a set of 2. This is what I love. Okay. All you do is take that top off and you can refill. So it's very easy to be able to refill. Another thing that I love is it is adjustable on the bottom. So you can adjust it of how thick or thin that you personally want your salt and pepper coming out. Okay. Most of y'all that may have any type of salt and grinders, I love this carrier. Okay. And the reason I love this is because I don't have my leftovers on my stove or on my countertop, and it's easy for you to pick up and move around on your countertops as well. Okay. So love that salt and pepper grinder set. Okay. When it comes to that. And speaking of your deep cover baker as well, I always tell people your roast, you can do a roast in there with your potatoes, your onions, all the good stuff. We talked about the chicken fajitas, you can, or steak fajitas, however you want to put that. You want to put your peppers, onions, all the stuff in there at one time. Your seasoning, your liquids. And again, we do have some of those recipes actually on the Pampered Chef website for you to be able to download and use those in your deep cover baker. Okay. Now we are going to talk about our electric twist and chop tonight. So this is a electric food chopper food processor. We are making a blueberry balsamic vinaigrette. Okay. So I have a question. How many of y'all make your own salad dressings? Okay. Do you prefer homemade or do you prefer store brand? Okay. I don't think a lot of people realize how easy it is to actually make your own salad dressing. And there's a couple of ways, obviously, that you can do that. But this recipe is actually, again, on our Pampered Chef website. And it is listed under blueberry balsamic vinaigrette. There's all kinds of variations that Pampered Chef has also put together for different vinaigrettes, your different flavors that you can actually download as well to be able to do that. So first of all, in the comments, who has this electric twist and chop? Okay. This has actually become one of my new favorite products, and I love it because I can just push a button. Okay. There are 2 buttons on this electric twist and chop. There's a full power button and there's a pulse setting. Okay. The pulse setting means I want, I want the control over my consistency for that food. Okay. The power button is going to puree. Okay. So if you don't want to puree, don't hit that full power button because it's going to be done in like 3 seconds. It's super fast. Okay. It is very easy. It is very compact. It does have silicone feet on the bottom. So it does suction cup down to your countertops because you don't want to be chasing that as you're going around. Number 2, there are blades in here. So they pull right out. And if y'all notice, the blades just lay down inside there. This does measure 2.5 cups. And what I love is you can chop and add as you need to if you want to. Okay. You're going to just lay this on here. You kind of want to line that up. And then the lid, there's a little bit of magic up here. I know it's kind of hard for y'all to see, but there's a little hole right here. Okay. That you can actually drop your liquids into as you're chopping. So again, if you're making a pesto sauce or you're making a salad dressing and you might need to add vinegar or water or any type of oils, you can do that. You want to make sure that you're not doing like a chunky oil, like a garlic parmesan or something that's got chunks in it, because those chunks won't go down in that hole. So it's really just going to be for liquid. Okay. Now the bowl itself and the blades and the lid can all go in the dishwasher. This is kind of just a hand down wash. Okay. You don't want to put this in water because it is obviously electronic. Okay. So we're going to put that down on there. And in order for this to come on, you have to have the lid completely in place, and you'll see those blue lights come on. Okay. So what we're going to do is our ingredients for the blueberry dressing is a 1/2 cup of fresh blueberries. So I've got my fresh blueberries here. Okay. I have measured ahead of time in our easy read measuring cups. Now these are my favorite because they are slanted. I got these full of liquid, but I'm going to show you one empty so you can actually see. These are my favorite because I don't have to do extra exercise to see my measurements. Y'all know what I mean? Like you have to turn like this, or you have to do this, or you have to move it around to see where it is. So that's one of my favorite things about the easy read measuring cups. They do come in a set. It is 1/4 cup all the way up to 4 cups. Okay. They can be used in the microwave and they can go in the dishwasher. Okay. So I have 3/4 cup of olive oil. And we're going to put that in here. And then we're also going to add a balsamic vinaigrette, and that is 1/4 cup. Okay, so we got both of those. And then I'm going to sneak over here at my recipe. We're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now I do have salt and pepper here that's already grinded up. It's kind of hard to grind and measure at the same time. We're going to use my favorite measuring spoon set. Most of y'all probably know this if you have these. These are a space saver in addition to these same cups because they do this down into one. Same thing for our spoons. So I'm actually going to do 1/4 a teaspoon of salt. Okay. We are adding 1 tablespoon of water, and I do have that measured out already in our 1 cup prep bowl set, my favorite. And then we're going to do 1 tablespoon of honey. Okay. So a tip about honey, and I did this before I came online. I have put a little bit of oil in here and wiped it down because if you put honey in something that is not split, it's a pain to get out. So add you a little bit of oil to your measuring cup, to your measuring spoon, and watch your honey fall right out. Okay. For that matter, for anything super sticky. Okay. So we're doing a tablespoon of honey. And y'all can see that fall right out. We're also going to do a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Okay. Same thing. If you do that honey first, this will fall right out. As y'all can see, that will fall right out. All right, let's see. We got all right. So it's blueberries, balsamic vinegar, water, honey, Dijon mustard, salt, and olive oil. So we got it all in here. Now all we're going to do is push this button for like 20 or 30 seconds. Okay. So as I push this, my microwave is hollering at me over here. So I'm going to go get those potatoes out of the microwave. And as I go to the microwave, I would love to know what your favorite salad dressing is. Okay. What is your favorite salad dressing? So I'm a ranch honey mustard and a balsamic vinaigrette. Like those are my go-tos. Okay. I am using the microwave grip set. I love these for things in the microwave because they're small enough to be able to grab to. Okay. Please make sure you have some oven mitts because obviously it'll be hot. Y'all look at that steam. Okay. So now that we have that out of the microwave, how many people have our mix and chop? Okay. So I'm actually using the mix and chop tonight for not hamburger meat, for not sausage. Okay. We're going to use this to mash these potatoes. Now I don't want to completely mash them. I just kind of want to mash them up a little bit. And all you're going to do is just put that down in there. You're going to give it, turn it a couple of times. And you do want to keep this a little chunky because you don't want to have pureed potato soup. Now you might, okay? So y'all can see, and I'll come over and show you closer to the camera so you can see what a good job this did, okay? So speaking of mix and chop, let's see in the comments, what do you use it for? Do y'all know that you can do guacamole? You can do tuna salad, like if you get it out of a can. You can do eggs, mashed potatoes, what we just did. So y'all can kind of see how I have actually cut that up a little bit. Okay. Now we are going to add the rest of the milk. So the entire milk was 4 cups. We did a 1/2 cup at a time. So we got 3.5 cups left. So we're going to pour this. I am using our glass batter bowl. I'm actually using the small one. Most of y'all know that these do come with lids. I'm not using the lid tonight, but this does come with the lid. And these are heat safe to 350 degrees, not the lid, but the bowl itself. So you can use these in the microwave and the oven. Okay. That goes along with our prep bowls as well. Don't forget the prep bowls can do the same. Okay. The only difference in our prep bowls, y'all, is they don't have the handles. So we have a 1 cup, we have 2 cups, and we actually have 3 cups. Okay. So I have the milk in here. And then we're going to add a 1/2 block of cream cheese. And actually I've had this softened. So we're just going to put this down in here and then I'll mix that up using the mini skinny scraper for that. Speaking of scrapers, these are my favorite scrapers. I use these to cook with. I won't tell you how many I own. Okay. And I love them because they're heat safe to 650 degrees. If y'all didn't know this, you can cook with those because they are heat safe. They do not stain. They are 1 piece from top to bottom. And you can put them in the dishwasher, okay? So my favorite, this is my favorite. This is called the small mixing scraper. That is my favorite because it has the spoon part. And of course, this is our mini mixing scraper, and this is the mini skinny, okay? So that's kind of the ones that I'm using tonight. All right, so we're adding the cream cheese, and you just kind of want to break that apart and get that all in there. We're going to put this back in the microwave to kind of melt all that and get that milk hot. And then we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to this again. And I'm going to measure just because I won't be able to hold it and do it at the same time. And so we're gonna do a half a teaspoon of pepper. Again, using those, and then we're gonna do a fourth of a teaspoon of salt. And then when it comes out, we're gonna add all the toppings, okay? So when you do this, it's gonna be runny at first, and y'all, that's normal, but just know that it's gonna thicken up as you start adding those other ingredients. Now, speaking of add-ons, a couple of things that you can add on to your soup when it's done is broccoli florets. One of my favorite things to do as well, y'all, is you can actually add fresh garlic, okay? And of course your cheese, and we're gonna add bacon, okay? So we're gonna go back to the microwave. All right. We'll get that on. And now we're gonna start this. So again, this is just really for 20 seconds. Once you have this made, y'all can keep this in the refrigerator up to 1 or 2 weeks, okay? And as it moves, the blade itself moves up and down. So it's actually moving everything with it. Okay. So we're done. So it looks very balsamic vinaigrette, but it's going to have that blueberry flavor. Okay. Speaking of blueberries, throw those extra blueberries in your salad if you're eating salad. I always do soup and salad. Hopefully you do too. Okay. To be able to do that. Now we are going to go to our green onions because I want to get those done. A couple of things for green onions. Okay. I'm going to show 2 tools tonight. Your choice on however you want to do that. I'm using our color-coded Santuco knife. Most of y'all know that these are amazing knives and your food doesn't stick to them, okay? So this is the Santuco. A Santuco knife is used for chopping and mincing. This knife is not to peel apples or cucumbers because it's a little bit bigger. You want to get a smaller knife for this. So if you're chopping and mincing and cooking, this is kind of your go-to knife. Now I'm going to use this knife. You can put these in the dishwasher as well. You can use these and chop right up with your knife, okay? Now, how many of y'all have our professional shears? Either these or stainless steel, okay? Did you know that you can just grab a whole bunch of green onions and do the same thing, okay? So just grab them all in the same place and you can cut and have all the same size and be able to do many at one time, okay? Now, the professional shears, again, y'all know these can cut through anything, and these specifically are dishwasher safe. Okay, so I know we have a lot of people who love the dishwasher. So y'all can see we've got our onions, okay? They're ready to go. All right, now we're gonna put this to the side. And while we do that, we're gonna grate our cheese. I'm gonna grab my cheese from the refrigerator. While we're talking about cheese, how many of y'all grate your own cheese, okay? It is so much cheaper to buy your own cheese and grate it yourself than buying that pre-grated cheese. I'll let you do your homework and look at those ingredients. Okay, your only ingredient is cheese when it comes here. I'm actually using our adjustable coarse grater, so this can actually be used for fruits, chocolates, cabbage, peppers, cheese. It's not just a cheese grater, okay? There's 3 ways to use this. You can actually open it up completely flat. You can stand it up, which is what I'm going to do today. You can actually do this. It comes with a cover for you to be able to store in your drawers, okay? Speaking of cleanup, did y'all know that you can throw this in the dishwasher? But before you do, I want you to know how to clean this. If you are cleaning by hand or before you throw it in the dishwasher, I want you to rinse this in cold water first instead of hot water because hot water makes it very mushy, icky, gooey. Put this in cold water first and your cheese falls right off, okay? So we're only gonna do about a half a block. So you're gonna put this down. We're just gonna run this down and y'all can see it does not take me all day to grate cheese. And y'all can see the consistency of that, okay? And now when you get down to the nitty gritty, you don't want to put your hands across there. This is what your holder's for. So this kind of slides on like a train track. You're gonna put that down inside there. You're gonna push that cheese down in there or whatever food that you're doing. And then you're just gonna run this up and down, okay? Is that it's short, so you want to make sure that you're using that guard. And when you get down to the last piece, we'll have that last piece, enjoy that, okay? But y'all can see we got that entire half a block done in no time, okay, to be able to do that. So when I rinse this, I'm gonna rinse this in cold water first before I go through it in the dishwasher or hand wash it, okay? So super easy. All right, now last 2 things I wanna go over, okay? Stainless steel bowls, save the best for last, okay? I love these stainless steel bowls, okay? They do come in a set of 3. You have a 24 cup bowl, you have a 16 cup bowl, and you have an 8 cup bowl. All the bowls are silicone on the bottom so they don't slide around on your countertops. You can mix in them with a hand mixer and you don't have to chase that mixing bowl around, okay? They all come with lids, and the lids actually kind of fit down inside of the bowl. They don't lay around the rim, so it keeps a lot of that moisture out of there, okay? You also have measurements on the inside. One side has liters, the other side has cups. You have a thumb holder for you to be able to grab that bowl and not have to hold it like this. And you have 4 spouts, okay? What is lovely about them, they store into one bowl, so you're not having to store all 3 separate bowls, okay? To be able to do that. Now the lids itself, I would hand wash. Now your bowls can go in the dishwasher, okay? Again, I won't tell you how many sets I have because these are my favorite, but I do store a lot of fruits and vegetables in here because they do last longer, okay? So speaking of storing, I have some lettuce in here that I'm gonna use those salad choppers on, okay? So I have a lettuce mix in here from just a local farm that I have. It has been cleaned and dried, and that is a couple of tips that you wanna make sure that you do before you store, okay? So that's why that dry paper towel is to collect that extra moisture. So salad choppers, okay? These can be used for salads. These can be used for meats, okay? And when I say meats, they have to be cooked, okay? So make sure it's not raw chicken or steak. It has to be cooked. But the correct way to use these is you want to put your 4 fingers in and chop towards you, not this way, okay? Because that's kind of awkward. So I have my lettuce in here. And again, you have a consistency of how small that you want this or how chunky you want to keep it, okay? Those of y'all that are doing salads, don't forget that you can put your carrots, your radishes, all the stuff in here and chop at the same time. The only thing you want to do if you're doing a tomato, just keep that last because y'all don't want to have that mush, okay? So again, you can chop this as fine as you want to, or if you want to still keep it chunky, it's your choice, okay? And again, hand wash, and the best thing about these, they're dishwasher safe, okay? So I'm gonna come show you what the lettuce looks like. And again, you have a consistency of as small as you want or as thin as you want, okay? All right, so we're gonna grab the deep covered baker out of the microwave. And can y'all believe we're at the end of our session already? So I hope you enjoyed some tips tonight. I hope you got some new tips tonight. I hope if you own the deep cover baker that it is on your list to get it out and use it, whether it be this recipe or some new recipes that you might have, okay? So I'm gonna throw in some pre-cooked bacon that I did ahead of time. I had it stored in my prep bowl, so we're gonna throw that in there. We're gonna throw our cheese in here, okay? And you don't have to put this back in the microwave for the cheese because that soup is hot, so it's gonna melt when you put that. Now, if you want a broccoli florette, you could throw that in there. And if you wanted to do garlic, I would actually do the garlic when you add the milk stage. So that way it cooks as it goes through there. So if you're like a garlic mashed potato person, you'll actually love that, okay? All right, so we're all done. So we'll use our nylon silicone ladle, okay? And enjoy some loaded baked potato soup tonight, okay? With a little bit of cheese on top. Okay. So y'all can see our finished product, okay? Thank y'all so much for joining me tonight, and I hope y'all have a good rest of your week. Back over to you, Michael.
Thank you so much, Nicole. It was really impressive. And your mastery in the kitchen, your mastery of these products, and you've got the measurements down pat. I'm just blown away. I feel like I would trust you with anything. So thank you so much. So we're going to give you a little breather real quick, a little break. We'll bring you back on for some Q&A in just a minute. But first, everyone, we're going to do our giveaway, and then we'll bring Nicole back after a couple announcements. So time for our giveaway. So tonight we are giving away what I heard Nicole say was her favorite measuring spoon. So we're giving away, and this is a fun set. They click together. My kids love these. They just love stacking them like they're a toy. I have to remind them that they are not toys. They are for, you know, eating. So please don't get them, with kid hands on it. You know how that goes. But they love them, and they're actually amazing. And the other great thing I love about these is because they're oval shaped, they're really great for sticking into spices and other small holes. So we're gonna give 3 people. I'm talking and talking. The names are on screen. What am I doing? Maureen Hensler, Laura Hewerman, Palmier Stevenson Young, Y'all are our winners tonight. Congratulations. I'll be in touch with you to get your shipping information. Congrats, Maureen, Laura, and Palmer. We will be sending you these measuring spoons soon. A couple other things I want to talk about real quick. We have a sale going on right now where you can get up to 35% off some our enameled cast iron, some entertaining essentials, and everyday must-haves and flavors you love before these products are gone for good. So you have the rest of February to act on these deals to get up to 35% off. Talk to your consultant to learn more. And furthermore, if you're looking to save even more, you can host a party in February and get up to 60% off when with qualifying sales on things like the Rock Crock slow cooker and some other great bakeware that you can see here. And since February is the month of love, hosts will also get a free mystery gift when your parties start and end in February. So reach out to your consultant to learn more and get a party booked for you and your friends and family. All right, friends. All right. Nicole, we're going to bring you back out. Sorry, you barely had a chance to catch your breath there, but we're going to do some Q&A. And I got a couple questions in the chat for you. This is, if anyone else has a question, here's your chance to ask a question. So Nicole, come on back out here and we're going to ask a few questions of you. That looked amazing. Thank you for the close-ups too. Okay, so the first one's an easy one. What's your personal favorite meal to cook?
Oh, my favorite is I'm a Mexican girl. I love Mexican. So I think I told you in the beginning that I was that box cook. Like, it's funny when we have friends over, it's like, can you make Mexican? So I love making guacamole, salsa, whether it be quesadillas, whether it be those chicken fajitas. If it's just taco night, it's probably one of my favorites to do.
Great answer. Love it. All right, so this question says, I got a measuring cup that was one side liquid and one side dry. Can you demo how to use it?
Yeah, hold on, please.
Oh, great.
I
Thank
have
you.
my cabinet. So this is our measure all cup. Okay, I did not use that tonight, but it is one of my favorites. So one side is for dry solids. It does measure up to 2. We actually have 2 different sizes. We have a 1 cup and 2 cups. So this is the one I'm showing you that is 2 cup. So your liquid you would pour in. It does have a pour spout on this as well. And then the other side is liquid. So think about honey, mayonnaise, sour cream, peanut butter, all the sticky stuff. So I'll come closer so you can actually see. You can actually pull this down to the measurements that you need. And when you get done, you push out and there's nothing left over. Okay.
So great.
So I love this, but we do have 2 different sizes. This is the 2 cup and we also have a 1 cup.
I love that. It's great for putting peanut butter in a smoothie.
Yes.
Super
Yes.
handy.
I was gonna say, especially if you're measuring.
Yeah. I measure with my heart, but when it's time to be precise, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this question says, did you forget the scallions on the soup?
I did. Well, they're here and look, they're on there now.
Love it.
And I say this because I'm gonna have this entire dish left over, obviously. I personally don't like reheated green onions, so I keep them on the side to add as I eat, okay? And most of y'all are probably like that. So I did add those to my bowl so I can eat that when I'm done. But I will store the rest of those just in one of our prep bowls and put it in the refrigerator so that way when I reheat it, to me, it's a different texture after it's heated up.
That's great.
Yep.
Next question. How do you adjust the salt grinder?
Okay, so on the bottom of your salt and pepper grinders, I'll come close so y'all can see. There is a little turn, mine's a little got salt all over it, but there's a little turn thing right here, if you can see that. And you can turn that to the left or right. Okay. I'll be honest with you, I've never had to adjust mine because I think it's adjusted perfectly as soon as I get them, but some people might want to have it thicker or even finer because I think it's already fine, but that's just how you do it, it's on the bottom.
Fine is fine with me. All right, so folks will get this in their recipe handout in the email after the event, but would you mind just reviewing what are the ingredients that were in the vinaigrette again?
Yes, it is a half a cup of fresh blueberries. It is a fourth of a cup of balsamic vinaigrette, or balsamic vinegar, I should say, not vinaigrette, not the salad dressing. There is 1 tablespoon each of water and honey. There is a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. There's a fourth of a teaspoon of water and 3/4 cup of olive oil.
Love it. And again, if you don't have to remember all that, we will be sending you a recipe handout that will tell you step by step how to make the things Nicole made tonight. Look for that in your email about an hour after the event. Couple more questions for you. You talked about how much you love the deep cover baker. What are some of your other favorite tools to use in the kitchen? What do you use most often with your regular cooking?
Regular cooking, if it's not a piece of stoneware, it's going to be my favorite stainless steel nonstick skillets back here. I use those a lot. That stoneware and cast iron is probably my go-to as far as cooking, if I'm cooking. When it comes to that, love my air fryer. That is my favorite that I use 2 and 3 times a day, especially for reheating cooking. But if I'm cooking dinner, it's typically going to be in a piece of stoneware cast iron or that stainless nonstick skillets.
Love it. Love it. All right, so I want to ask you a couple questions about your business. I'm fascinated by the fact that you said, I came in, I was going to do 6 shows and quit, and then that's not how it played out. So
Right.
what changed your mind?
So I got in literally to do 6 shows and quit. I told the person who signed me up this is what I was doing. And I did my very first show, very, very nervous, never would get in front of people. And I would also say that kind of got me out when I started doing shows. I'm like, oh, this is not really bad. I'm just here to teach people. And that's what one of my love things is for Pampered Chef is I hope that you did take some tips away tonight to be able to do that. And I want to give that to all customers for that purpose. And, I got in and realized that it was very flexible. I could work when I wanted to. I didn't have to work when somebody else wanted me to work. Most of y'all know if you have a part-time job, it's every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, okay? Or every night that you don't want to work. So I love being able to have my own schedule. But I did realize real quick that I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm just gonna do 6 shows. So
Yeah,
obviously I'm here, still here 21 years later. So
21 years. Amazing. And you said you're working full time as well as doing this. How's
I
that
do.
working flexibility wise? How do you make that work?
So I do obviously my daytime job during the night, during the day, and Pamper Chef is after I get off work. So, and it's been like that for 21 years. So,
Amazing.
yeah.
Okay, so last question. You talked about flexibility. You've earned some great products. Any other added benefits that you have found in making this part of your life?
I would say being able to educate other people. I
Mhm.
think when you help somebody in the kitchen, I think it really goes a long way because cooking doesn't have to be hard. Okay. It
Mhm.
really doesn't have to. And again, I'm that girl who was that box cook and we'll cook anything now. We'll try everything. But having those right tools obviously helps with that. And again, that's another reason I was very young when I started and didn't know how to cook. So I had no idea what Pamper Chef was. And getting these products really made me realize what people need in their kitchen. But obviously being able to help people and teach them, the tips and tricks and all the stuff that I have. So that's my heart.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you for educating us. I definitely feel like you delivered on that promise tonight. So I really appreciate it. And thank all of you for joining. And if you are interested in learning more about being a consultant yourself, connect with your local consultant or visit the Be a Consultant page on our website, and you can find more information about the details of our income disclosure statement and the details of how all this works. And I hope you all join us next week for something really fun and special with Kelly, who's going to be showing us 2 quick dips that pair perfectly with homemade pita chips, and she'll be giving us a sneak peek at a new spring product. So you are not going to want to miss this. Come for the sneak peek. Come for a great demo. Come for a good time. We're going to have a lot of fun. So register now for next week with Kelly. Thanks again for joining us, friends. We will see you later. Stay warm out there. Bye-bye, everyone.